Welcome back to another episode of the Owl Pod. I'm your host, David Litfin. Alongside me, my co-host,
Amelia, right? And today we're super excited. We have a basketball player joining us. Super excited to talk to him. Olin Chamberlain, as the title said. Now we know that we aren't going to keep it a secret anymore because you guys know how to read.
Secrets are no fun when you can see the name of the person in the title of the episode.
Yeah, for sure.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like as we always do, we'll hop in, talk about previous week in Temple Athletics, give you a recap. We'll also do some foreshadowing. Got some new teams involved this week.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some basketball games being played on North Broad. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard.
So we'll get into that. But first, let's get into what happened last week. We'll start with women's soccer, who wrapped up their season on Thursday, their last game.
A rainy senior day. Yes.
A rainy senior day at home.
Rainy and cold.
It was rainy and cold, and the UTSA Roadrunners came to town, and they defeated the Owls 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
Their last game, I think, overall, looking at the season, getting their first conference win
was huge.
It was a big deal for them. 4 wins on the year, scoring more goals than the previous year. I think it's safe to say team improved, but still not to where they want to be overall.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll go into their off season. Want to give a shout out to one of their freshmen who was named
Valentina Bitterwolf.
Thank you for that pronunciation because I would have butchered that.
Yeah, we're trying to teach David how to pronounce names.
She was named to the all-freshman team in the conference and also named third-team all-conference. So huge shout-out to her and congrats on a phenomenal season.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, we won't be talking women's soccer for the foreseeable future just because they're out of season, but enjoyed following their year.
Yeah.
Let's talk field hockey, who also wrapped up their season.
Mm-hmm.
As we mentioned last episode, they failed to qualify for the Big East tournament, which I know they were disappointed with, but
for sure.
they were still determined to go out on a high note. They traveled up to Providence, Rhode Island, take on Providence in their last conference game of the year, and how else but win 3-2 in overtime. I feel like every time we talk about field hockey,
it's always overtime.
It's overtime shootouts.
It's crazy. Yeah.
They must have played a lot of minutes this year because I swear every game has been in overtime.
They had at least 4 overtime games, which is, I feel like, unheard of. Like, I've never heard of this in previous years.
Yeah, it's crazy. They're playing a lot of close games.
And they do 2 overtimes before shootouts, so it's crazy. They're playing
a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
And field hockey came out on top, 3-2. You know who scored the game winner, right?
The girl that always does,
Who else? Peyton.
Yeah.
Who, if you are a loyal listener, she was on the podcast a couple weeks ago. So huge shout out to her.
Yeah.
Wrapped up an amazing senior year.
They've also been having a freshman that's doing great, Lucia. She scored 2 goals, and I think I saw on the Instagram that she now is like most points in a freshman campaign or something. She had 20 this year, which is crazy.
Yeah. I know early on in the year we talked a little bit about her, and when Peyton came on, she talked about her play.
Yeah.
And I've seen she's getting a lot of publicity, as she should. But honestly, really proud of this field hockey season. I know it wasn't exactly the outcome they wanted, but they fought hard. They played a lot of really close games. Big East is a hard conference, and glad they ended on a high note. And Peyton scoring that game winner, obviously awesome to see for her. Let's talk volleyball.
They had a huge weekend.
On a bit of a heater here now.
Yeah, let's knock on wood.
Let's knock on wood because it's been 2 weeks since this team has lost.
4 in a row, right?
4 in a row. This week on Friday, they took down, I believe it was Charlotte, 3-1 in sets.
I was there in my Halloween costume.
There you go.
Not many people were. I think you were supposed to dress up, but of course I dressed up. I was a pickle.
You were a pickle?
Yeah.
Awesome. They took down the Charlotte 49ers and then traveled down to North Carolina to take on the ECU Pirates and defeated them on Sunday 3-1.
Yep.
So that's 4 in a row for this team as they're pushing for the playoffs. And they got 2 more matches this week, I believe.
Both away, yeah.
On Friday they take on GW, which is an out-of-conference game. A little bit weird that an out-of-conference game this late in the season. And then on Sunday they're down in North Texas to take on the Mean Green. Excuse me. They do not play GW on Friday.
I was going to say, I think you made that up. I'm not going to lie.
I totally made that up. Actually, that would be women's basketball playing at GW on Friday. So my apologies.
You just got excited for basketball. Like, it's basketball time. We're talking about it
today. I'm so excited to talk basketball.
Yeah.
I just confused them with volleyball. But volleyball will be traveling to Texas to take on the Mean Green on
Texas
Sunday.
Teams.
And that's a big match for them. That's one they probably need to sneak into the playoffs there. Again, 4 in a row for them. Puts them at 5 conference wins on the year. So hopefully they can keep the ball rolling.
Mm-hmm. They're playing UTSA in Texas, yeah. A fun trip, I'm sure.
Yeah, before we get into football, would like to shout out men's and women's cross country who traveled down to Charlotte for their conference championships. The men competed hard. We placed 6th place, which, going in, I think we were looking to be 4 or 5 we saw, but 6th place in this conference is nothing to be ashamed of. We have 2 nationally ranked teams, a third team in Wichita State that is improving dramatically. And we had a freshman, Qasim Kahil, who showed out in a big way.
Shout out to that pronunciation. That was really
Qasim
good
Kahil.
for you.
You know how
Good
you
job,
say
David.
the first day of practice, he said, you can think of my name as awesome with a K in front of it.
That's a good way to say it.
So,
I wish I had a fun name.
Yeah, I don't have that either. So shout out to Qasim. He made the all-freshman team for the conference obviously as a freshman, and ran a nice personal best in that race on a tough course. So super excited to see, this team. Obviously, they take this week off. They go to regionals in 2 weeks. So excited to see what they do there. But overall, pretty strong performance at conference.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk football. We had our guy, Evan Simon, join the show last week.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we did not see the splits.
The dancing was not broken out.
Yeah,
this
but
past
there's
Saturday.
always next week.
I got a chance to watch this as I was traveling back from Charlotte. And early on, Owls showed some fight. They were down 14-0, came back, tied it at 14.
Right before halftime, yeah.
Right before halftime. It was kind of a crazy game to start. A lot of turnovers, bit of a wild game. And then
someone jinxed our boy Evan.
Yeah, someone. Don't know who that is. But yeah, just a tough game for the Owls. Looked like ECU just had the better game plan overall.
Yeah, they were prepared very well.
Very prepared, and it's funny. I actually caught up with a random ECU fan while I was in Charlotte, actually at a sandwich shop, and ECU fan walks in, and I was like, "Hey man, we play this weekend," and he's like, started talking about the game, and he said that his team could beat anyone in the country, and also
that's an insane take.
and also lose to anyone in the country.
Oh, okay.
And I was like,
Okay.
I don't know about the first part of that sentence, but hopefully the second part is correct. But they sure looked like a good team on Saturday, and I knew it was going to be a tough game for the Owls. But looking at the year, they're still got the chance to be bowl eligible. They travel to Army next week, which is definitely a winnable game, and then obviously wrap up with 2 harder conference games. But I think they'll turn the page, trust Coach Keeler to get this right, and travel up to West Point next Saturday for a big game.
Yeah, room for improvement after that game, but I'm sure our guy Coach Keeler will get him right.
I have no doubt we'll see some dance moves broken out a week from now.
Hopefully.
And then obviously, we're bringing Olin on here in a sec, but would love to shout out men's and women's basketball who start their season this week as well.
With some good home games, right?
With some not only good home games, but good promotional games. We got Dollar Dog Night.
I'm excited for that one.
As this episode is being released, it would have been the previous night on Monday, where women's basketball takes on George Mason. And then Wednesday, we have men's basketball season opener against Delaware State. You can watch that game on ESPN Plus or at the Lee Course Center at 7 p.m. And then later on that week, as I mentioned earlier, women's basketball travels down to George Washington on November 7th, which is Friday. Again, I just can't do anything right on this show.
I'm pretty sure it's a home game.
It's a home game.
Yeah.
So I don't know why.
I'm here to keep you in check, Dave.
Yeah, I don't know why. I apologize to the audience. That game will be at Leah Course at home, November 7th at 7 p.m. And then men's basketball plays the following week. If I'm getting this right, Olin, feel free to chime in. November 11th. We're going to put that game out because that's a big game against LaSalle. And as this episode drops next week, you will already be listening. So I want to give a shout-out in advance that men's basketball will play November 11th at home at 7 p.m. against LaSalle.
I'll be there.
Put that on your calendar. Is that a Big Five matchup?
Yeah, of course.
Big Five matchup. So definitely, show off for that one. But excited to watch these two groups. We previewed them a couple weeks ago on the show, but excited to finally, get into their seasons.
Yeah, and it's good that we can talk about our recap a little bit with Olin here and get some more info.
So what better time to bring on freshman guard Olin Chamberlain to the podcast. Olin, welcome to the show.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks for joining us. I'm sure it's getting pretty busy for you now. I'm sure maybe the first couple weeks of school when you're in only 8-hour-a-week practices, you had some more time, but I'm Sure. Things are getting busy, so thanks for taking the time to join us.
And thank you for having me. Just a little bit more busy, just a little bit, but
a little bit. I mean, you guys even started traveling. We talked about this before the podcast started. You got 4 home games to start.
Yep.
So not easing in the sense of who you're playing, because I know LaSalle, that's going to be a tough game.
Right.
You play Boston College in that
Yep.
first 4 games. But I guess it's for you as a freshman, do you find it easier to have the first couple games be at home rather than having to, adjust your schedule going on the road and everything?
Definitely. I mean, I still get the opportunity to, go to my classes, things like that. I don't have to go on the bus or go on the plane. So all that stuff is not really happening yet. So I'm excited just to finally get to play some games, have some fans come watch us. Been only us, me and the guys so far for the first couple of weeks. So kind of excited to have some fans watch us and show off all the hard work we've been doing.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Olin, local kid, grew up, played his high school basketball, St. Joe's Prep. So you're not no stranger to playing basketball
Not at all.
In this area. So tell me a little bit about that journey going from St. Joe's Prep, where we've had some Temple alum. I believe did Aaron McKee play at?
Not the Prep. His son was my teammate, my best friend. Yeah, he was at the Prep. But Chris Clark.
Chris Clark, okay.
Yeah, he's also now coaching at St. Joe's Prep now. But yeah, he went to the Prep and then played at Temple as well. So
there's a bit of there's some history there with going from St. Joe's Prep to Temple.
Definitely.
Tell me about that experience for you so far. Obviously playing your high school ball nearby, and then coming to Temple. I'm sure growing up, you knew Temple basketball. Yep. How's that been for you?
It's been great. I think we're going to touch on it a little bit later about the Big 5 matchups, but just knowing how much basketball means to the city of Philadelphia and kind of just staying here and just realizing that, I went to St. Joe's Prep, played in the Philadelphia Catholic League, and basketball meant like everything to the Philadelphia Catholic League. Gyms would be packed on a Tuesday, Wednesday night. I think that's crazy. I don't think that that atmosphere is like that in any other place in the country.
For sure.
And then just coming here to Temple and knowing the storied legacy of Aaron McKee, Chris Clark, all the other great players that played at Temple, and just the history of Temple being the 7th winningest basketball.
6th or 7th,
Yeah, 6th or 7th winningest basketball team NCAA history. So I think that's just coming here and just realizing that I'm a part of something bigger is definitely something that I was looking forward to coming to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, and I feel like we talked kind of off mic about playing in the Catholic League. Is there a moment in your high school career, whether it was playing in the Catholic League playoffs over at the Palestra? I know we've talked about that.
Yep.
Was there a moment there that separates for yourself? Just maybe there was a game or an environment that you'll never forget playing in?
Definitely. I mean, like I said, I think Mondays, Tuesday nights, it's crazy. It would be a random weekday, and the gym would be packed, and student section would be going crazy. And I think that's just so crazy that people come out and support, the whole city of Philly to come out and support. But more specifically, like you mentioned, the Palestra, I think, is insane. 10,000 fans packed to watch a high school basketball game. It's high school basketball. It's not even college, not the NBA. 10,000 people. And I think that that's one of the reasons I went to the Philadelphia Catholic League, just to be able to experience that. And I think having experienced that is not something that a lot of high school players get to do. So I'm kind of just thankful that I was able to do that in my 4 years.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now kind of moving into your time here at Temple so far, I know you've only been here for a couple months. And one of the things we talked about a couple weeks ago in our preview is, a lot of new faces on the roster this year. Only 3 guys returning. And,
yep.
I think the audience would appreciate a perspective from someone inside the locker room how that process has been. Obviously,
Yep.
You're one of 11 new guys joining the team. What's that been like for you? And kind of what are your expectations for this group moving through as you start the season? What are your expectations?
Yep.
And how do you kind of look at the season?
Well, I think we've been gelling super, super well. I've been on teams where there's might be some cliques or some people doing their own thing and things like that. But I can speak for the guys by saying this. we're all genuinely happy for each other, and we're all like each other very much. Like we're hanging out outside of practice. We're going out with each other to Halloween parties, or I know Coach probably doesn't want to hear that, but
Coach Fish missed this part of the podcast.
Right, but we're going out to eat. We're going to Outback. We like to go to Outback, things like that. You know, Texas Roadhouse.
Okay, the basketball team likes steak. Okay.
Right. We got some Southern guys on our team, you know. So we go out and just hang out and enjoy each other's company, and I think that's what's going to make us really good this year. Just our team chemistry and everyone really feeling happy for each other and things like that. So. I think that was the biggest part. Even though we have 11 new guys, we're all extremely connected and really like each other a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Just building off that point. I mean, I obviously not around the team every day, but from an outsider point of view, I can tell like your team does a lot of stuff together. Whether it was you do some volunteering work. I know a couple weeks ago we were at a 5K walk for pediatric cancer.
Yep.
For one of your student managers, Hayden. Shout out to Hayden, by the way.
Shout out to Hayden.
Or just going to games. You guys show up as a team to games. So I think that has always been the case with Coach Fish's team, and I'm glad to see that this team is following that and really gelling together. It's obviously important with that many new faces. As you kind of look at the first couple games of the season, what are some things maybe the audience should look for? Or what are some things that excite you about this group? Maybe some guys, or maybe some things that you guys have worked on that you think is really going to stand out early.
Right, I think we play really fast. We play an exciting brand of basketball, moving the ball up and down the court. We have really good playmakers, shooters. Jordan Mason, our starting point guard, he's really, really talented in the pick and roll. We got shooters all around. Aiden Tobiason, one of our returns, big man, Baba, shooter, Gavin Griffiths. There's and then one of the kids I was talking about from the South, from Arkansas, Darian Ford. That's a guy you should have on your podcast. He's a great guy.
Arkansas is not in the South.
Arkansas is not in the South.
Wait, no, it definitely is. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
But he has
Keep going. Sorry to interrupt.
But yeah, he's a really great guy. Especially. He's just a really great guy. Yeah, I think the whole team has a whole bunch of great guys.
Mm-hmm. And how do you think we talked a little bit about Adam Fisher. This is third or fourth year here now. How do you think him as coach? Like I see you guys go to his house on like holidays and stuff. I think that creates an awesome like team culture, and we kind of just touched on that team culture. But how do you think that starts with the coaching staff and really dwindles down to you guys having that good chemistry?
Definitely. I think like Coach Fish, especially, like that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come to this program is like the culture that he brings and the culture that he has. Like when we go out to the sports games, he's the one that encourages. When we go out to the volleyball games, the field hockey games, he's the one like, hey, you guys should go, and we're all like, all right, let's go. So I think it's him leading the way as a leader, head coach, but it's also us willing to go and wanting to go support our fellow peers.
Yeah, that's great. Before we move in to Amelia's favorite section of the pod, Temple Takes, I want to ask you, obviously you grew up in the area, or familiar, went to school in the area. I'm sure you knew about Temple. Whenever we bring people on the podcast, I'm always curious, once they actually get here, people are often surprised by some element of the school. It could be the campus, it could be the people.
Yeah.
Is there something since you've gotten here that has maybe surprised you by your experience, something that you didn't know that you would like, that you like, or something that you thought you'd like but you love? Like, what's something that has stood out to you so far? I know you only got here, only been in the classroom for 10 weeks.
Yeah.
What's surprised you so far as being an owl?
So when I first took my visit here, what really surprised me was like the actual campus feel of Temple. When I think about Temple, like I went down the street 5 minutes away at St. Joe's Prep. I went to get food here, sometimes during my lunch break, Kava, Chipotle, but like I never really took a break and actually saw what Temple's campus actually looked like. When you think of Temple, it's usually like just the North Broad Street, just up and down. That's what you think about. But like when you get in the middle, where Fox is, where we are right now, where we get to Mazer and things like that, you see the actual campus feel of Temple, and I think that's like really cool and exciting and something that not many people know about.
Yeah. We both agree. I mean, that's something that we talk about a lot, is like actually getting to campus, the feel of it.
You don't even feel like you're in the city, and I think that shocks everyone. Like, we have flowers, we have stuff. You can't even hear Broad Street, when you're in the heart of campus.
We have trees.
We have trees, yes.
Yeah, we have a library. There's a lot going on campus, and I think that's the common theme here is people actually get to campus. I think it's also a good shout for, like, alumni. I think if you take someone that hasn't gone to school here in maybe 10, 15 years, you bring them back to campus, it's pretty powerful to see what they've done. And
The new buildings are crazy.
It's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
All right, let's pivot. Let's
get to have some fun now.
Let's have some fun. Let's no more. I guess I would say no more basketball talk, but that would be incorrect considering our Temple takes.
Our
What
basketball.
Is it? What is it? What's our Temple takes, Amelia?
Is our theme this week NCAA basketball or just basketball in general?
I would lean NCAA basketball.
Yeah, we're going to keep it college focused.
We're excited because, NCAA basketball, it's a long season. They start beginning of November. They're going through March. That's a lot of time. So I think it's appropriate we dedicate a Temple Takes to strictly NCAA basketball. And what better guest than Olin to talk Temple Takes? And do you want to give a brief explanation for our audience here?
Yeah, so today might be a little bit different than normal, but we usually, our Temple Takes have a theme, like we just said, and then we're going to hit you with the overrated, underrated. Sometimes we get, really passionate about it. Like, me and David have probably argued a little bit too much about these.
A little too much, especially about Powerade.
Yeah, the Powerade is, don't get us started. But, yeah, it's super fun. We kind of get to know a little bit more about our guests, and then we're going to dive into overrated, underrated, and then kind of just topics to discuss. Yeah.
Not as many overrated, underrated, but you guys you'll get the hang of it. You'll see how it flows.
Yeah.
Do you want to start us off?
Okay, let's do themed games to start. We kind of just talked about Adam Fisher. He has his fish night. We also talked about Dollar Dog Night is this week. Whiteout, those huge games for Temple and every other school, I imagine. But let's start off with that one.
Overrated, underrated?
Yeah.
I can start. I think these are very underrated events. I'll talk about the Whiteout for starters. My freshman year, we took on Houston when they were back in the American Conference.
That was a crazy game.
That was after the Owls went to Houston and beat them.
They're number one in the country, right?
Number one in the country. That's right. And they came here. It was my first Whiteout, and the Owls were leading for most of that game, and they lost with about 5 minutes to go. Houston took the lead. They didn't look back. That was one of the first times I was like, oh wow, this is a basketball school. This school loves its basketball.
That game was packed too.
It was packed, and I remember we were drawing with the Houston fans. It was a lot of fun. And then I think about last year when Memphis came to town, it was the Whiteout, and we upset them. They were ranked at the time.
Yeah.
And just about how much fun that game was. And I think there's a certain juice for that Whiteout game.
Was the Villanova game a Whiteout when Temple beat them?
I don't think it was.
Okay.
I don't think it was. Usually the Whiteout's reserved for a conference game, I think.
But huge games, always a huge turnout.
They're just really fun, and I feel like the Leah Chorus has a little bit more juice in those games. And
for sure.
I think it's underrated.
Yeah. I think underrated for sure too. This is great. Like add on what David was saying, it's a great way to just get people out. Especially the big games, the Memphises, the higher notable games and things like that. It's a great way to get people out, wear the same color. It just looks really cool as well, But I would definitely say underrated.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you guys. I think you hit all the points on the head, but I think it's fun. The games, you said the season is so long, so sometimes it's another basketball game. But it's still super fun.
Don't say that to Olin, man.
No, I'm just saying
we're gonna be tuned in.
Well, if I go to their games, I'm expecting you guys are gonna keep the trend of going to other games. So we'll see you at some lacrosse games. That's the sport I play.
Amelia, we got some time before I'm excited for lacrosse. We got a couple months before you guys take the turf.
I know, but we don't do themed games, so I'm going underrated because I'm jealous that they have all the fun.
Maybe we can change that. Maybe we'll get a themed lacrosse game out there for St. Joe's. Is that a home game?
Oh my gosh, you always bring up St. Joe's. It's away this year.
It's away.
Yeah.
We'll bring the theme on the road. How about that?
Okay.
That's down the line.
We got some time to plan it. Okay.
We'll figure that one out. Let's move to out of conference versus in conference games.
Are we rating them separately?
No, I'm going to say.
Picking one?
I think it's just a pick. It's a pick 'em. It's a pick 'em.
Okay.
No sports gambling still, by the way. We'll skip that part of the pod. If Christy, if you're listening, you can thank me. We're just going to skip over the sports gambling.
Yeah, we don't do that.
If you know, you know.
Ooh.
Let's go out of conference, in conference. I'm going to say, it's a bit of a hot take. I like out of conference games. I'm talking basketball specifically. I think it's cool when you get to play some teams that you normally wouldn't play.
Mm-hmm.
For example, this year you guys are playing Boston College.
Yep.
You're playing Davidson on the road.
Yep.
Those are just games that I think they're fun to watch because I'm not going to see that for a couple of years.
Yeah,
I know Boston
definitely.
played last year and home, but some of these other games, I think it's just cool. It's also probably cool for you guys to get to some new cities and check out new things. That's probably pretty fun. So I like the out of conference schedule. And And also, the tournament you guys are playing in a couple weeks down at Disney. Like, I just kind of like watching those type tournaments, especially when you get like some of these big schools that go against each other.
That usually don't see each other.
Yeah, it's like a preview of what's to come in March Madness. So I like the out-of-conference schedule. The in-conference is great, don't get me wrong, but I don't need to see us play UAB again.
Right.
I've seen that so many times. So I like out-of-conference. What say you?
I'm going to agree with you. I think I like out-of-conference because it's different. Well, actually, I lied. I'm not agreeing with you. I think the in-conference rivalries are kind of more fun. Like, you play in those games, like, scouting like crazy. But, I like both. So
that was just not a take.
Yeah, that wasn't a take. I'm kind of indifferent, but they're fun. Yeah.
So I think you just wanted to disagree with me, but then you realized you were wrong.
Yeah.
So
I like to disagree with you, but then I failed at it. So, Olin, what do you think? Let's move on from me.
I really like out-of-conference games, but you guys both said kind of out-of-conference. So, I'm going to say in-conference, and I'm going to take that
I actually didn't really say either.
You didn't say either.
I don't think you had an opinion on that.
I just, talked. Honestly, what did I say?
I'm going to say in-conference because it's like a battle between each team. You might run into some teams you might play twice. So it's all about game planning. You might get to know the other players really familiar. So I think in-conference is the best way to the March Madness tournament, which I think we're going to hit on a little bit later.
That's true.
If you win your conference tournament, you get an automatic bid to the March Madness. So everyone wants to make it to March Madness. So I'm going to say in-conference.
Yeah. No, let's give a quick follow-up just because you gave that answer, which I appreciate the different perspective. But now I'm going to ask you, in conference, is there a team that you're looking forward to playing more than another team? Is there a team is there a game you got circled? Like, I'm excited to take on blank.
Not entirely. I think the Florida schools. It's nice to go to Florida.
Okay.
In the winter, right?
I was thinking from
the winter, but Memphis. Yeah. Oh, you always want to play a team like Memphis, who has a really high profile, really great reputation. See how they game plan. See how we match up against them. See how we differ against them. So. I think we'd be really excited to play Memphis this year just to see, test ourselves.
No, I understand the Florida answer because by the time you guys start playing the heart of your season, you walk outside on Broad Street, it's the wind's howling. Mm-hmm. You probably don't mind getting down to South Florida for
70, 80 degrees. Right?
No parka needed there.
That's okay. You leave the park at home.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. Let's move on. We talked about March Madness. Let's just hit on it now. This is not really again, overrated, underrated question. It's more of just an open-ended question.
Yeah.
I guess not open-ended. It's yes or no. Is March Madness the best playoffs in sports?
And I would say easily, hands down, the best playoffs in all of sports. The reason why I say this is because when you think about March Madness, right, the NBA playoffs, the only people that really watch the NBA playoffs are NBA fans. The only people that watch the baseball, the World Series, is usually baseball fans. When you talk about March Madness, you have people that never watched a lick of basketball before. Nobody's watched anything related to basketball before, are filling out brackets, are emotionally invested into these games, right? You're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe
he makes a really compelling argument.
I can't believe Duke beat a 16 ranked team. Like, yeah, obviously it's gonna happen. But it's people that have never watched the sports before are so emotionally invested into the games, and I think that's super exciting for the sport of college basketball. So I'm gonna say easily March Madness is the best playoffs in all sports.
I'll give you it's a good question because the first 4 days of March Madness, the Thursday to Sunday,
insane.
And it's just games all day. It's pretty awesome. It really is. I think the reason I pause on March Madness is because I just feel like it's one of those things where the longer it goes on, it's not as
less
it's dragging, right?
It's a long.
Agreed
month.
For sure.
We get to the Elite Eight and it's woo. And then you get to the Final Four, and it's a week later. I just think.
Yeah, I think it's because the games are so spread apart once you get to
get later. Yeah, so I think I take the first week of March Madness, absolutely. But then when you have to factor in the fact that they're playing so many rounds, it gets a little, I don't want to say old, but it loses its crunch.
Loses its magic.
The energy, it dwindles
fades,
down.
But, but then again, what other playoffs are better? So when I look at that, you got the NFL, which I like the single elimination playoff series. Yep. I think when you get to these 7-game series, it's just
that gets so boring.
Too much.
Who's watching the third game?
It really
that
is
doesn't
too
matter.
much. So I will say March Madness is the best playoffs in sports. I will say yes, but the product does get a little bit worse as you go on.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some heat for my answer, but I don't know. Olin had some good answers. You have some good answers that like kind of like make me like it a little bit more. But like I've said, literally, I feel like somehow every podcast, like I love watching football, and that's probably my favorite sport. So I'm going like the old school college football playoffs. I hate the 12 teams.
That's a really hot take.
We're not getting into this right now.
You like 14 better than 12 team?
Just because like those 12 teams, like at least half of them should not be there. Like that's like boring. Like,
Olin, do you have a take on the 12? Do you watch?
No, I'm not gonna lie. I love the 12 teams. Like
I'm with
versus
you.
the 4 teams because like I feel like there's so much like the 5th ranked team should have made it. You know what I'm saying? Like now there's like that. Nobody's saying. People are ranked 13 to 14 usually have 3 losses. It's like a compelling argument, you know.
But then they
agree.
get like they just lose so bad.
I think the 12-team playoff is more entertaining because I think it makes the regular season like you can lose a game or 2.
Yeah, and still make the playoffs.
Now, don't get me wrong.
The SEC especially. SEC's a gauntlet.
The SEC's crazy. I will say this: they got to do away. I think they are. I think I saw this rule change. They got to do away from like, okay, we're gonna put Boise State in because they won their conference. It's
the automatic bids always throw it off.
You guys are playing me and you out there. Like it's not like you're playing the SEC.
Right.
So I think they have to be careful. Like I wouldn't mind seeing 6 SEC teams, 4 Big Ten teams, and then like 1 team from the ACC, 1 team from the American.
Like,
you know what I mean?
So the Temple Owls are gonna sneak in.
Yeah, so like I wouldn't mind that, but I agree. I shouldn't be like, oh, we should put the Big 12 winner in because
that's why I dislike
they're Big 12 winners.
Like, it's like, no. So I think it should be the 12 best teams. And if it's 6 or 7 SEC teams.
How many?
Yeah, that's the second time.
I know that twice now.
All right, but
if it's 7 or 8 FCC teams, then so be it.
Yeah.
Sorry, we got a little off topic, but
it was kind of fun.
When you say something like 4-team over 12-team.
Okay, but you backed me up. Like the 12 is just like. Okay, I need to calm down.
Yeah, cool off. Let's move on. What do you got for us next?
Let's play a little bit more into let's say, like, describe it. Like, what did we just do? Like, go on a tangent?
Let's go, like, more personalized Temple takes.
Yeah.
Really to get to know Olin because he's a freshman. He's going to be around for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
When you're watching the games, I guess the audience.
What number are you, Olin?
21.
21.
Number 21.
Yeah.
That's a good number.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I like 21. Let's see. Talking about pregame fits. You guys, basketball, you get the tunnel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Flicked up.
Media's all over you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's like your go-to pregame fit? Are you more of a comfy guy? You dress up? How's that look?
If we were talking about pregame fits, overrated or underrated, I'm gonna say extremely overrated. You know,
okay.
I think
it's not a fashion show.
It's
right?
not. I mean, me personally, I can understand how people take their opportunity to put something nice on. Mm-hmm. You know, but like me, I'm like, hey, like let's just be comfortable. Let's put on some gray sweats and a nice hoodie, and let's just call it a day. But right, that's just me personally.
I love that. I mean, that's how I am. Does that mean like when you go to class, are you like a comfort guy?
You know, sometimes I wear because I'm coming from St. Joe's Prep where we had to, wear a coat and tie every single day.
Such a good point.
So
That's
like
crazy.
I can't just make a complete 180 turn from coat and tie to sweatpants. So sometimes I might throw on a nice collared shirt or something like that. You know, some days. Yeah. Sometimes I'm going with sweats and hoodie.
And tell the audience what you're studying. I feel like that's appropriate given what you're studying.
Yeah, I'm studying legal studies. Pre-law track. So
you're not showing up in just like sweats, slides, like that's
slides. Never slides, but never slides to class.
He's wearing slides right now.
I'm wearing slides right now, but I'm coming from practice.
He's lounging right now.
Yeah, that's one of my rules. And my dad and I have a rule: never wear slides to class. But
that's a good rule.
But yeah, I you might catch me on some days wearing some sweats for sure to class, but never slides. But yeah, sometimes I might throw on a collar shirt.
I respect the pregame fits. Like, I mean. No one really cares what I'm wearing before a cross-country meet, but I'll just say, like, it is totally overrated. Like, I always appreciate when the NBA players pull up in sweats and, like, you guys are, like, you're not trying to make a statement. Like, it's just very low-key.
Right.
I like that, personally. Now, nothing against people that dress up.
Some of the fits are diabolical, though. Like, I feel like some of them try to make statements, and I'm just like, man.
Yeah, it's honestly become, like, a huge...
Fashion show.
I feel like before every game, you get, like, the tunnel picks.
Yeah.
It's like a thing.
Yeah.
So good to know that we're not going to see Olin dripping. And then it turns out, Wednesday the game comes around, he's going to be all dressed up.
He's going to be in a full suit. He's in a tuxedo, actually.
We'll have thoughts on that next episode.
Yeah. Maybe that'll be our owl or foul based
yeah.
on his outfit.
I like that. All right, so let's move on to, your pregame meal. So this is probably different. Like, I'm just thinking for myself, before meat, like, I'm pretty particular about what I eat, especially right before. What about you? Like, is there like a go-to food or something, or can you eat kind of whatever before?
I'm obviously not going to eat too much, like I don't want to overeat or anything like that. It kind of depends on what time the game is, If it's a 12 o'clock game, I might maybe just eat something like a bagel or something like that. Like nothing too crazy. But if it's like I'm playing at like 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, something like that.
A lot of 7 o'clock games, I feel like. That's a hard time to like eat.
Yeah.
7 p.m.'s weird.
Yeah.
I think I might, I don't really like pay too much mind to it. I might get some wings or something like that. Like nothing too crazy, but yeah, I'm not really too particular about my pregame meal.
That's good. You're flexible.
Yeah, he's not superstitious about it. Like I need to eat.
Yeah, when you're playing that many games too, it's like if you wanted, I don't know, a chicken parm before every game, like that might be hard to get when you're in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah, I'm pregame meal is not something that I'm superstitious about. I do have some other things that I need to get done that my brain functions, but pregame meal is never that. Yeah.
All right, good to know. Let's talk. If we're talking basketball, you got to talk about.
Talk GOAT, right?
Yeah. Got to have some GOAT talk. Who's your basketball GOAT? And I mean, for this one, you gotta give a little explanation as to why.
Yeah, my GOAT is LeBron James. I think it's quite clear cut. LeBron, I feel like you were still saying Jordan. Like you must have not watched the last 10 years of basketball. Like LeBron James, I think is better in every statistical category: points, rebounds, assists. He might not have the rings, but I think he's just a better player. Like if you want to start your franchise right now, from scratch, you want to take LeBron over Michael Jordan easily. That's my personal opinion.
I got a lot of respect for that take. I agree. Right, I'm a LeBron GOAT guy.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yep.
LeBron GOAT guy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think people that obsess over Michael Jordan, and just by Amelia's face, I can just tell she's gonna say
She's a Michael Jordan.
I can just tell, which is fine. But I just think like
I love basketball.
It's more like the thing that bothers me is like the reasoning behind the Jordan is like, oh, he was 6 for 6 in the finals.
Right.
And you're like, yeah, there's no obviously denying that. I just think if you look at like what you just said, who would you rather have on your team? Who is a better basketball player? I just like, yeah, you watch LeBron James, and what is he, like 40-something now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he's injured right now, but even last year, you were watching him, like, this guy is
not slowing down.
He's obviously just, like, the best basketball player.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, you watch him, and then you pull up clips of Jordan, it's like, guys, he's just a better basketball player. I understand the whole ring thing, but then isn't Bill Russell the best of all time? Didn't he win 11?
Right.
Like, I just don't like, let's not, like, so I just think if you're talking basketball player, it's LeBron, and then I mean, there's other guys that are. I
have a different GOAT, I guess. Mine's Wilt Chamberlain.
Why do you say Wilt Chamberlain? That's weird.
Because he's related to Olin, so he's awesome. So like now I have a tie to him, so like that's my GOAT.
Olin, what do you think of that take? Yeah, it feels.
I mean,
feels like a little biased. I don't know.
Yeah,
no bias here.
I think it's a little biased, but I've heard some people mention that name before when it comes to being the greatest basketball player of all time. And I can't knock it. I think that's not a bad choice either. Yeah.
Yeah. You wouldn't like? Would you put him in your top 5 or no?
I would say I'd say he's in my top 5 for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, he changed the game. And there's some rule changes because of him. I think I got to put him in my top 5.
Do you want to share your connection for maybe some people that don't know?
Yeah. Wilt Chamberlain. That's my great uncle, my grandfather's brother. So I'm the grandnephew of Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I met Olin probably the first week of school, and I'm a basketball fan, like genuinely. And I'm not anymore, but I used to be a huge Sixers fan. And I never
Did you just throw shade at Sixers?
Yeah, I'm
not anymore.
I'm not a Sixers guy.
Okay.
Gave up on him?
It wasn't even good. It's not a topic for the outpod.
Okay.
I'm just not a Sixers.
We
guy.
keep it positive here.
Not a Sixers guy, and I literally today was the first time someone told me that, and I like just never connected the dot once.
Yeah.
And not that like if you couldn't tell by this episode, Olin's not going around like talking about like,
he's a humble guy.
He's a humble guy. So when I heard that, I was like, wow, that makes so much sense and something I just never thought of.
Yeah.
So that could be your fun fact of the day.
That could
When you watch
my fun fact?
No, just anyone. Yeah. So GOAT. We'll 2 of us will take the real GOAT,
Right.
and then 1 of us will take Olin's great uncle. How's that sound?
I think that's awesome.
All right, let's move on to our last Temple take.
Yeah.
This one I'm pretty fired up about.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Big 5 basketball. Give a little disclaimer. There are 6 teams in the Big 5. So, really the Big 6. But for old time's sake, we'll call it the Big 5. Overrated, underrated. I'm going to start, and I hope that everyone follows suit when I say underrated. Big 5 basketball, pretty legendary in the city of Philadelphia, considering the history. Also, let me just give a quick dig. Villanova is not a city school. Let me just get that out there. Whereas the rest of the teams in the Big 5, they are.
Say it louder for the people in the back. I don't think
even,
they heard it.
Even St. Joe's.
I was gonna say I was giving you like a side eye because I know we talk bad about St. Joe's a lot, but like I went there like last week. It took me 30 minutes. Like
Okay,
they
it's
are not in the
30 minutes
city.
away. It is in the city though. It's on the right side of the city. It's on the Philadelphia side of City Line Ave. They are more of a city school than Villanova, they're in Bryn Mawr. That's about 4 or 5 miles removed from the line of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So Villanova is not a city school. It's not a Philadelphia school, but they are in the Big 5.
They love to claim it.
And
though.
they have added a lot of history to the Big 5.
Yeah.
Considering some of the success they had several years back. So Big 5 basketball is super underrated. I love the format they rolled out a couple years ago with the tournament being played down at Wells Fargo. I'm sure that's exciting for you guys having that kind of.
Is that just the championship? Is that Wells Fargo?
No, like all the semifinal.
Okay.
I think the like championship weekend. I think they have like a couple different games going on.
Yeah.
Like consolation games. So I love the new Big 5 format. I know the women's team, they won it last year against Villanova actually. So shout out to them. But I'm excited to see kind of how Temple shakes out in the Big 5 this year and hopefully get down to Wells Fargo to watch them, compete for the championship there.
Mm-hmm.
What say you guys? Big 5.
I would say that Big 5 is extremely underrated. I kind of touched before about like Philadelphia basketball meaning so much to the city and like the rich history of Philadelphia basketball. And I think just to have the 5, if you want to say 5 Philly teams, but 6 teams, 6 teams of Philadelphia basketball all playing each other, all like basically under one roof when you're watching the games and things. I think that's so incredible for the city, for people to come out and watch and support, and just give some people like something that they like look up to, and like the little kids that are playing in middle school and high school right now. It's like, hey man, like I want to stay home and play in the Big 5. So I think that means a lot to the city just to have the Big 5 tournament.
Yeah, I'm agree with you guys. I think it's super cool to have all the Philly schools playing, and like we've kind of touched on this whole time, like basketball in Philly is just. It's underrated. So, yeah, that's my take.
It's underrated. All right. That concludes Temple Takes. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah,
I actually really enjoy college basketball. That's another thing. Once I got to college, again, growing up, NBA guy, once I got to college, I moved away from the NBA a little bit, more into college basketball. I think it's a lot of fun to follow. Obviously, the Owls and the sport as a whole. So that does it for Temple Takes. Let's move on to my favorite segment of the pod. Owl or foul. Owl.
For those that don't know, is going to be like our like big positive of the week in Temple athletics, and we always give a shout out to SOAR, the American Conference mascot. It's going to be something that's soaring upward and doing really good, and then foul is going to be something that needs a little bit of work and could be improved.
That's right. And this week's Owl is Temple volleyball.
Mm-hmm. Like we said, they had a huge weekend. Huge last 2 weeks. They're soaring for sure. Mm-hmm. 4 straight wins, 4 straight conference wins. Yeah.
They're on a roll.
I hope they stay on it because.
And I'm hoping they stay on a roll because.
Got to make that tournament.
We would love some playoff volleyball in this school. So huge shout out to them. Excited to watch them this week. Another conference game. So excited for them and hopefully they continue to roll into the playoffs.
Yeah. And then you should do the foul today, I think, David.
You got it. Yeah, so Olin, why don't you take?
Special guest taking it tonight.
We're gonna do a first here on the pod. Have our special guest take the foul.
Right. So our foul of the day is the meal swipes. Right? There's certain places on campus that I personally think, I can't speak for you guys, that I think should have meal swipes. On top of Vantage, there's Chipotle, there's Kava. There's
On top or underneath?
Underneath. My bad.
I was
That would be kind of weird.
I was like, wait a minute, where's
bad.
this hidden Chipotle?
That's like a skyscraper. Is what I was going to say.
Underneath Vantage, there's Chipotle, there's Cane's, there's Kava. There's so many great restaurants that people walk past each and every day on their way to class, and there's no meal swipes for them. And I think that is just so crazy. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Olin's pretty passionate about it. He was talking about it
before
the podcast for a while.
He wanted to share this foul. Like,
Yeah.
he was passionate about it.
I brought it up to them.
He brought it up.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. That's a first. It's a first for the Owl Pod. Not only first freshman, but first one to announce the foul.
Yeah, he's changing the Owl Pod.
Yeah, he's changing the Owl Pod.
For the better.
For the better. And, hey, man, we really appreciate the time. We're excited. Temple basketball, nothing like it. Right over at Leah Course.
Appreciate you guys for having me.
We'll be sure to tune in, not just on Wednesday, but for the duration of the season. Who knows? Maybe you'll come back on middle of the year, talk conference play or something. You never know. So we'd love to stay in touch.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming on the show, and best of luck this season.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
And as always, go Owls.
Go
Owls.
Owls.